everybody, I'm Vera Stewart, and Merry Christmas and welcome to the VeryVera show. This right here, we are right before the holidays, and I started thinking about a wonderful dinner party that I attended in Columbus, Georgia a couple of years ago. We had the most incredible dinner. I still can remember it, and this gentleman prepared it. Jamie Keating from Columbus, Georgia is here. He has a restaurant, Epic Restaurant. He is the overseer of the River Mill Center there that does all kinds of specialty catering. We've got his website up on the screen. You must look at it. It's fantastic. But Jamie, thank you so much for making the trip over.
Vera, thank you for having us, and luckily it wasn't snowing as of yet. So.
I know, I'm telling you, it's just been so cold. But we started thinking about things that would be holiday dishes for Christmas and for coming up New Year's, and things that maybe are your favorite things to order when you go to a restaurant, and maybe you're afraid to try them yourself. So what are we going to be preparing tonight? All
right, so we'll start with the first. We're going to start with dessert. Wouldn't that be awesome if every restaurant started with dessert? The ladies would love that. So we're going to do a ginger creme brulee to start off. We'll follow that with a Coca-Cola glazed pork medallions. Bring you back a little bit to that summer feel in a mason jar or different vessels you can serve that in, and then we'll move into New Year's with our sweet potato bellinis. Perfect. You think champagne, caviar, apples, beautiful stuff there. And then we're going to show you some neat techniques with fried green tomatoes. Now I know we're thinking winter, but what's awesome is the prior proper planning. How we can freeze these fried green tomatoes, breaded tomatoes prior to, and then show you how it lasts throughout the winter.
And that's the thing I hope that everybody will pick up on tonight, Jamie, is that, you know, the freezer can be your friend. There are things that you can do ahead to make the whole process of getting the meal together great. So let's get started with, you know, dessert first. You know, I definitely love that.
Beautiful. So you're steeping the milk right now, and I have a little ginger here. It's just freshly grated ginger. And we're bringing the milk up to temperature, so we're not bringing it up to a simmer or a boil or anything of that nature. And what I recommend is, please, as you see, a wooden spoon, non-reactive pan, so it doesn't give it that, you know, that metallic flavor. Right. But we're just bringing it up to temperature right now, and we're about there. We're not looking to coat a spoon or anything right now. That's the next part next. So what we have is our egg yolks and granulated sugar. We're going to whisk those together. And what I do here, Vera, is that I take the cream that you have there, and I want to temper it.
Okay.
So what I was telling you earlier, if I may, we'll move the spoon, is that you wouldn't get it in a bathtub.
I love this story.
When it's piping hot, you want to go ahead and kind of ease your way into.
Otherwise, the yolks would cook.
Yep, you'd end up with scrambled eggs. And we want to go ahead and put them right back in. So it's called tempering. Now, you go with the wooden spoon, and it'll go back and forth. Not scraping the bottom of the pan is very much so an important piece here.
Oh, gosh.
As,
I can already smell that ginger.
Vanilla beans. Split vanilla bean. Extract may be used as well. Maybe in this particular recipe, just about a half a teaspoon would work.
Okay.
Past that process, we would strain the mixture back into the bowl.
Okay. And I've got a bowl right here.
Perfect. Just like such. And Vera, what you have over here is a roasting pan. And with that roasting pan, we have some warm water already set in that Pyrex dish. And you're going to go about halfway up whatever size vessel, ramekin. We'll be showing you how to do this recipe in a couple different ways, i.e. for a center of the plate dessert or as an appetizer, dessert reception.
Because, you know, we all think about it in the ramekin, but to be able to serve it also in these little spoons. You know, I know probably at your event center when you do special events, everybody's used to having hors d'oeuvres passed. But if you've got something sweet at the end of the night, that's just a bite that you can walk around with.
We find folks love sampling of desserts.
This is
you know?
like
they want to commit to
velvet,
just
Jamie.
one. You'll see the vanilla beans that are coming out the bottom. Beautiful.
Oh, that's so pretty. Well, and this wasn't that hard to do, you guys. You can do this at home, and we'll have those recipes posted for you too on our website. So come back with us after the break. We're going to get started on the pork medallions, and he even found a Coke with Santa on the front. So come back and join us after the break. Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, you've already missed the fact that we did dessert first tonight, y'all. And it was going to be so great, a wonderful ginger creme brulee. And I have with me Jamie Keating out of Columbus, Georgia. He's the chef owner of Epic Restaurant and is just award-winning. We've got information on him on his website on the screen, and I want you to check it out. But he is going to take us down another path. We're finally getting to the main dish. We've done dessert, and now we're going to do something with pork. So what is in store here?
We're all over the place. So we have a Coca-Cola braised pork medallions, and as Vera has, we brought Santa tonight to the show. And we're going to do it with some Napa cabbage, like a slaw version of that. Wintry cabbage is what you're looking for, Napa. As we go through the process, I'll use a couple different recipe pieces. What I want you to encourage folks to do is follow the recipe the best you can, at least in the production process. But if you look in your cabinet and it says pecans and you only have almonds, give it a shot. Don't just take your purse, run out to the grocery store and say, I will get pecans. Now, if it says pecan pie, then yes, get the pecans. All right. So what Vera's starting off here is the Coca-Cola glaze itself. And you have a little honey and mustard.
Okay, so I'm adding that in with a little bit of olive oil and shallots and garlic. Correct? Look here, I'm with a famous chef, so I am not going to mess up tonight, y'all. I'm going to be so proud.
We're both proud today.
Okay.
Here, if you have your own house recipe or you make your own barbecue sauce, please do that. But you know, it's like anything else I look at. You know, if you can find a great quality product that you can get off the store, especially a fresh market, you should go ahead and do that. This barbecue sauce we're using right here is just from that. Oh,
great. And you know, when I was reading the recipe and it said use your favorite barbecue sauce, of course, people are all over the place with that in our state, with whether it's dark or yellow or sweet or salty, so just whatever, you're just recommended put what you like the most in here.
Yeah, well, if it's not broke, don't fix it. You know, everybody's a good barbecue aficionado nowadays.
Okay, so now I can add the Coke. Correct.
While you're doing that, I have the Napa cabbage, some carrots, flat leaf parsley, sugar for sweetness, vinegar. Because it is cold outside, we have -8 vinegar. Once again, this is all products that you can get at your local fresh market. -8 vinegars from Canada, and we added with a little calabrese pepper. Now, once again, if you don't have pepper, you can use red pepper flakes. What I do encourage you to do, though, is to put a little in at a time, taste the heat, and then season as needed. A little salt and pepper in mine, and Vera, you're about ready to start putting some seasoning in yours as well.
Right. Okay, so we've got a pinch of this and a pinch of that.
The salt, pepper, we have a little fennel seed or ground anise. You have a little Cajun or chili powder Cajun seasonings.
And then we've got the salt and pepper together in here, so that's looking good, smelling great.
Bring that great glaze up to a simmer. Just means just a little simmer on the outside, and then we'll be ready to go ahead, as you'll see in the next part of the segment, where we take our vinegar-based slaw. The glazed pork medallions have been slowly cooking in the oven for about 1.5 hours.
Oh, those just look great.
Perfect. You know, it's just that warm comfort food feel. If you'd like to omit that sauce, please do just that. Follow the recipe just for the braise itself.
Okay.
And we're also going to finish off with a little fava bean, but it doesn't mean it has to be a fava. It could be a pole bean, French bean, you name it.
Okay, well, this is all coming together, and like Jamie said, we're going to put this together and show the presentation at the end, so you don't want to miss a single aspect of the show tonight. So come back with us after the break. We're going to get started on the bellinis, sweet potato bellinis, and then the fried green tomato stacked salad. So come back with us in just a few minutes. Some of our etiquette tips each week are geared specifically to home entertaining as opposed to being out at a restaurant. This one in particular is very close to me, since you all know I love to wear my colored lipstick. And now I'm at a dinner party with cloth napkins. So what is the protocol for that? This napkin certainly is going to go in my lap first, but as the meal progresses, I may need to use it. So I want to be sure that I'm just maybe paying attention to what's around my mouth as opposed to wiping my lipstick on the napkin. If for any reason you've got a white, beautiful linen napkin at this dinner party, then I would suggest I like to have a tissue in my pocket so that I can wipe my lipstick off. But if you should happen to get lipstick on this beautiful napkin, I would be sure to point that out to the hostess before I left so she could treat that napkin when the party is over. I love to use cloth napkins, but let's be careful with that red lipstick. thank you for joining us tonight for the Very Vera Show. And I have my special guest, Jamie Keating from Columbus, Georgia with Epic Restaurant. And I feel like I'm at your restaurant right now.
Really?
I mean, I'm just having the best time, and we're learning so many wonderful things. So we are going to get started on the sweet potato Brûlée that you can use for all different kinds of things during the holidays. He's going to show you some different ways to garnish that and present that. And then we're also going to do a fried green tomato salad, and he's got some real tips for you on this. So I'm standing over a really hot skillet here. So
all right, well, it's beautiful.
Let's get started.
We can use the warmth right now. With the sweet potato Brûlée, the mini pancakes we're gonna make, we can make them larger for breakfast. The fun thing is, if you don't want to go through the process of mashing the sweet potatoes, you can also use canned pumpkin as a substitute with that.
Gosh, I love the color of it. It's just beautiful.
And plus, you know, with this time of the year, you're looking for those hardy root vegetables that are going to hold.
Well, while you're showing them how to mix it up, I'm going to go ahead
and
start
putting so your cast iron has already been prepared with a little bit of non-stick spray. For myself, I have all-purpose flour that I'm adding to the sweet potatoes.
Oh, these are going to be so neat. Am I getting them too big? Or
yeah, I mean, feel free to make Mickey Mouse if you'd like to.
Oh, okay.
And we have just a little bit of nutmeg. Wonderful thing in the recipe, you'll see where I talk about a microplane where you can actually grate it with the whole seeds of nutmeg. A little milk to that. And just as we did with the creme brulee mix, we're kind of adding a little liquid to the dry as we go. The recipe also calls for KitchenAid or some type of vegetable, you know, a mixture of some sort. Here we're just going to go by hand. No other better way to do it on your show, correct?
Well, absolutely. And then I always love to say, if you're not using a piece of electrical equipment, this is something that maybe, you know, a young person in the kitchen can get in there with you and learn a few things.
Yeah, my children love to play in the kitchen with us.
He has 4 children. He and his wife, Melissa, are the parents of 4 children. And I said, well, they're going to be hard workers because they're not going to have any choice, right?
Well, yeah, they're in the business, that's for sure. But we try not to put them too much into it because we don't want them to run away.
Right, right.
So we're adding 1 egg at a time right here. And this batter will store perfectly even in an airtight container. You can put it in squirt bottles, just like the ketchup type squirt bottles. Keep it in your refrigerator and you pull it out.
And that was actually just like that was a pastry bag, but you can cut the end of a Ziploc bag off. It's the exact same thing.
Don't need for anything fancy like that. I'm sure some of you husbands out there can come up with something pretty creative. Not to say the ladies can't, but not into cooking, you just head out to the local hardware store.
Oops,
so
okay.
yeah, golden brown is what we're looking for. And when we prepare these, we're going to finish them off with some neat toppings.
Okay. All
Perfect.
right, so I'm going to let you keep flipping,
right.
and I'm going to get started on the dressing that's going on the fried green tomatoes.
Exactly. And one of the things is, as you're making these recipes, please look through it, read them incomplete, most recipes, and see the things that you can do the day before. There's no need to stress yourself out, you know, on Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve trying to make all these dishes.
Well, that's right, and I'm sure this dressing holds up really well. Okay, so we're going to start with the bacon first. And this is wonderful looking right here. And then we've got some roasted onion, which you said you roasted with the skin on.
Roast the skin on is what I like to do with my onions.
That.
And that helps keep the sugar inside of the skins, makes them nice and sweet. And for those that don't care for, you know, the onions to be, you know, too tangy, it just gives it a perfect flavor. And you can,
vinegar,
after you roast them in the skin, you can just put them in the refrigerator after that.
Buttermilk.
A little buttermilk,
and then
correct.
finally, you've got this wonderful puree, which is basil, and you said to add it until it's the right color.
Yeah,
so maybe it should match my green sweater.
We can try for that.
And my cute little earrings tonight with my Christmas tree balls.
But
ooh, this looks great.
Exactly. So
well, I think we want it greener than that, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's to your liking. Of course, we'll hit it with some salt, some pepper, some seasonings from our seasoning tray to get it just the way we like it. But, you know, just another idea right there. And then the tomatoes themselves, as I move these off to the side, man.
Okay, absolutely. Get those out of the way.
All right, those off the way. We'll reserve those for plate up.
Okay, and this tomato idea is fabulous because when I saw what Jamie wanted to do tonight, I thought, fried green tomatoes, it's December. But then he educated me right fast.
Well, you know, for us in the catering world and such, we got to look at things that we can control, be control freaks, I guess. And so there's different ways to go about it. I've been talking about this episode about, you know, interchanging things and doing some different recipes other than what you just truly read in the savory cooking. So, for example, tomatillos or a very firm heirloom tomato.
Yes, absolutely.
That has some green elements to it. These tomatoes themselves, we bred them in what I call more of a Yankee fried green tomato, is cornflakes.
Okay, perfect.
Beautiful flavor, great texture,
right,
crunch
really
that you're looking for.
Right.
We have that with the basil dressing, mini greens, and what's great about these is we're going with the standard flouring process: flour, egg wash, and instead of breadcrumbs, we're using the cornflakes.
That's perfect.
Excellent. And what I was talking about, or what you just had mentioned, is that we can pretty much freeze these now at this point in time. Now we can go right into it and put them in a little home style deep fryer, pan fry them.
This is where I think sometimes people are so afraid that what they've battered it in is going to fall off. So you're giving us some really great ideas. So we're going to get started on getting those ready and complete. And you've got a lot to look forward to in this last segment, because we're going to plate everything, get it really like you want it to serve. So come back with us after the break, and we're going to have quite a feast. Welcome back, and I have had the best evening tonight with my friend Jamie from Columbus. Jamie, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
You guys have got to read up on him. His website is up on the screen because he has done quite a bit in his few years on this earth and is so talented, and his restaurant is just phenomenal. I hope that if you have an opportunity to get to Columbus, you'll certainly put Epic Restaurant on your list of things to do while you're there. But you know, we started the show with dessert first, so let's talk about the dessert first here at the end, because the creme brulee just turned out beautifully.
Exactly. So we finished in the oven, and some folks like to use a torch, some like to rather go with the standard broiler in the oven. So we just did it in the broiler oven here in the studio. Garnished it with a little cream to bring to the side, but you want that nice hard cracked crust on the top. Is what you're looking for.
There it is. There it is.
All five senses, and that's your sound sense. The sweet potato blinis off to your right. You know, the topping today was a little truffle and onion cream sauce, apples, pickled onions, which are nice and tart, but perfect. Lots of texture going on there.
And he was so intricate doing this while we were away, and as you can see on the screen, it was just such a beautiful process and a beautiful 2-bite appetizer, which is the rule. Okay, now we're stacking things up.
So, you know, real estate's less expensive if we go this way, right? Instead of out wide. So this is our fried green tomato that we're stacking up. Once again, I've got the onions that are pickled. Place them however you'd like.
And you know, before we went on break, Jamie was talking about how the process of getting it breaded and ready to go in the freezer, if you lay all of those out on a sheet pan, find a spot in your freezer to put that and let each one individually get really hard and frozen, then you can throw them in a Ziploc bag and pull them out. You know, if it's just the 2 of you for dinner, 6 of them out. And then he fried those up in the cast iron skillet with just a little bit of olive oil before we came back on. Exactly. But this is what makes him a chef and I'm not. Is what he's doing right now.
No, it's how we could charge $3 more a dish.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's
well,
all
I need to charge more money.
Yeah, you eat with your eyes first.
That
so
is
that's where that comes into place.
Isn't that beautiful?
So, yeah, it's just angel hair pasta.
Angel hair pasta that you toasted.
Just, yeah, toast it or fried. You can dry it out in the oven, but it's tasty as long as you season it.
Okay, now I'm going to let you put this together right here.
Going to our Coca-Cola medallions here. As you see, the glaze that Vera made is ready to go. I would... she sure did. It still has the vegetables in there, which we call the mirepoix for flavoring, the glaze. Feel free to add as much as you'd like. Top it off.
Oh, and I love this.
What we did on the bottom of the vessel here to start off with was...
we're just going to put some of this on the top?
Correct. And I would save to put your salad here that had about an hour to refrigerate and soak up all the vinegars and the flavors. And then pop that on last minute. So you can actually put your beans of any variety here. We use fava beans. You can put them in the mason jar, for example.
Isn't that a great?
Your Coca-Cola. You can keep it in a warming drawer, and then as your guests come, Finish it off with your salad, and then you know.
So when you get gifts for Christmas with the pepper jelly, save that jar because you're going to use it for this dish later.
Exactly.
That is wonderful. Well, again, all the recipes are on our website at NBC26.tv for the VeryVera show. He was nice enough to share the recipes, which I also truly appreciate. He's done an amazing job of this, and for all of you folks out in Columbus, Georgia, you are very fortunate to have someone like Jamie in your community. I want to invite you back next week for another episode of VeryVera. And Jamie, I have a saying here at the VeryVera show. No matter what you do it in good taste. And I feel like I've had really great taste in my selection of guests tonight. Thank you. Happy holidays to you and your family. And for all of you, Merry Christmas. Come back and see us a week from tonight for another episode of the VeryVera show. Thank you
Vera.
so much.
Happy holidays.